I live a low life trying to mind my business. I never understood mixing time with business. I rhyme with swiftness, heroic quickness. Try to figure out what a nigga's gift is. For all I know, I could be good at this. And if not, I'll work at it until my shit pops like a soda can on a summer day. But ain't no summer games, I ain't come to play.
What up, you guys? Typan20 here. If this is your first time to my channel, go ahead and subscribe, hit that notification bar, drop a like, and throughout the video, if there's anything that you find thought-provoking, go ahead and comment, talk to me. And I'll have my social media right here for you guys to get in touch with me and share what you think, you know, if you don't want to put it in the comments on YouTube. So, today's topic, you can't change anybody. You cannot change anybody but yourself. But if you'd like to know how you can change people, it's through influencing them. And how do you influence somebody? By changing yourself. And that does not guarantee that an individual is going to want to change to meet the expectations that you are placing on them. Which is selfish, because having expectations of somebody is you wanting them to fulfill every desire and purpose and goal, aspiration that you set for them, which is hindering them from being who they really are. And one thing that I could say is that trying to change an individual a lot of the times just doesn't work because you're not a kid anymore. When you're a kid, your experiences mold you. Like, that's why kids learn 5, 6 languages before they're even 3 years old, before they're 4 years old, because their brain is wiring itself and it's constantly wiring itself to these new experiences. But then after you hit a certain age, those influences, they get to choose because they are who they are. They get to pick and choose what experiences they want to experience. They get to pick and choose what they feel is beneficial for them or what they feel is negative for them. And so as we adapt and grow into teenagers and adults and, you know, whatever comes after, we pick and choose, and sometimes individuals may not see some of your expectations as fit for them. We are bombarded with influences all day, whether it's social media, whether it's whatever restaurant you go to, whatever music you listen to, but it's up to the individual to choose what they want to soak in, what they want to allow in, where they want to be. How do you change yourself? You fix the quality of your thinking. A wise man has always told me that attitude, you know, we always associate attitude with how an individual may present themselves. This wise man told me that attitude is the quality of thinking. So by me having a negative attitude, that's what, first of all, because everything starts from a thought. And then from a thought, it can be words, from words, it can be actions, or just so forth. So when you have a negative attitude, then you present yourself that way. When your quality of thinking is poor, you present yourself outwardly that way. You start to take offense to things, you start to take things personal, you start maybe attacking people because your quality of thinking isn't clear, isn't keen. You have a lot of cluster, you know what I mean? But so what I'm getting at is how to influence people, you have to change yourself. And how to change an individual, you have to resonate with where they see themselves being. You know, because if they see themselves being where you are, they say, how do I get to where this individual is? What can I do to get where this individual is? What can I do to think like this individual? What can I do to attract the same kind of success that this individual has? Because the way that I'm going about it isn't bringing me the success that I want. Or it's not bringing me the success where I can be unnerved about things that come my way, you know? And I think that that's critical, being able to first change ourselves and find our influences so that we can be the greatest versions of ourselves. That way, other people that are around us or people that see us can choose to follow suit and then become leaders of their own, of their own paths, of their own rights. And that means that we pretty much create the realities that we live, and the people that we keep around us are all part of the realities that we create. But we're all co-creators because they're creating their reality as well. And you may resonate with the same kind of energy, and that's why you guys intertwine. A lot of us are familiar with vibing out with people, where you no longer are on the same wavelength, and that's not to like make it sound like you're riding a high horse, like, oh, I'm better than this individual, because sometimes you could just, be in such a dark place that you don't resonate with an individual anymore, and it hinders the relationship, and you have to distance yourself. Vibing out with individuals is natural. If you are a super positive person, you attract super positive people, and you may come across one negative individual, but in that sense, because you're more positive, it may not weigh you down as much, and even when you're in a negative state of mind, that one person, sometimes it doesn't help because you're weighted down by so many negative people, Quote that I want to share that I found super interesting says, "I don't fix my problems, I fix my thinking, then problems fix themselves." About 2 years ago, there was something that I was reading, and it was like, if there's no solution, then there's no problem. And I adapted that mindset a lot. My taking to that was that if there's no solution that I'm in control of, then there's no direct problem. It was easy for me to adopt because it was like, okay, stop worrying about what I'm not in control of. Stop worrying about who I'm not in control of. Let me focus on myself. If an individual is doing this and whatever I say isn't helping them, or whatever I say isn't helping them meet my expectations of where they should be, then there's no problem on my end. That's their problem. But there's no problem on my end. There's no solution, for me at least. There's nothing that I can do about that. It was like, let me stop focusing on a problem. Let me start focusing on a solution. If I genuinely feel there's no solution, then what am I doing stressing about it? Let's work on changing ourselves for the better, and with the common goal in mind to be the best for this planet, because we're killing the planet. There's a bunch of genocide going around, killing people on the planet. And then just like this battle between the masculine and feminine energy just is causing so much tear between people that we're seeing each other as different. We're very much alike, but we all stem from the same spiritual entity, from the same spiritual source, if you believe in that. If you don't, that's cool, but me personally, I believe that we are all cut from the same cloth. We just come down to experience this life in different ways. And the best way that I can influence another individual is by being the greatest version of myself. So with that being said, let's focus on healing ourselves. Let's focus on growing as individuals. That way people can resonate with the idea of seeing a higher self, seeing a higher version of themselves, and then we can all come together as a collective and make this world a better place for everybody. That being said, peace be unto you all.